To everyone. A pleasure to have all of you for yet another program for the Northeast India, empowering the Northeast and our India with the ASEAN, that is Southeast Asia. When we talk about 8 beautiful states of Northeast, the Honorable Prime Minister of India calls it Ashta Lakshmi. That means right from Tripura, Manipur, Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal, Nagaland, Mizoram, Sikkim, beautiful people, art, craft, culture, cuisine, dances, music, education, whatever we talk about. And today we are going to talk about school education. In school education, we are going to talk about empowering our entire Northeast India schools. And we want the Atal Tinkering Lab coming up in all the schools of entire Northeast region. Ladies and gentlemen, my emotion rose this afternoon because when you remember a place where from you start your young days, your career, your journey, your rank, your commission, your first salary, you get an emotional bond with that particular place and region. I respect Northeast. I love Northeast, and I'm ready to do anything for Northeast. And that's why I requested Mr. Sharad Bansal and Mr. Sarat Singh to join us today. Mr. Sharad Bansal ji is a co-founder and CEO, Tinkerly. Tinkerly. And there's something known as tickling, there's something known as a tinkering, and then there is a Tinkerly, and he will tell you why LY. And what exactly is that? A STEM learning company. I've already requested him that please bring STEAM now in this. Mr. Sarat Singh, who is joining us from Assam, who is joining us from Guwahati. A great pleasure to have this younger brother and young child with us, regional partner, Tinklery, Northeast region. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to Northeast and let's travel to Northeast. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And today we want to help out all the Northeast youth. From our chamber, ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, during the lockdown, people have been focusing on basically when we talk about our doctors, our nurses, our paramedical people, they are great warriors. Let me tell you, our teachers are also great warriors. Our skill providers are also great warriors. Our technocrats are also great warriors. They've done a great, great job. Our chamber, which is non-resident Indian diaspora abroad in different countries. My love and affection rolls for education, and that's why we talk making education relevant. How to make education relevant. We always talk the whole world is one family. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. That means the whole globe, the whole world, everybody, all of us together, it's one family. So once world is one family, let's empower. Great regards and thanks to Honorable Prime Minister of India and Education Minister of India. 29th of July, the new education policy being given, and this is a game changer because this new education policy, when it gets implemented in totality, it will do wonders on this particular planet. So, ladies and gentlemen, new education policy, 29th of July, right from the 6th class onward, children will have coding, vocational skills, competencies, capabilities, going out, visiting corporate houses, and doing 10 days bagless education as a part of, and no arts, no commerce, no science. All of us, we are together, and that is the way it has to move on. And that's why we have moved one step ahead, STEM to STEAM, because A is for art, craft, culture, cuisine, whatever we talk about. Our chamber, we are having about 12-hour service right from 25th of March every day. Since morning, we have already done 2 webinars. This is the third webinar, what we are having now. So, and there are 2 more webinars to go after this. We brought in 1994 India's first finishing school, first finishing lab, where we focused with the Indian diaspora on soft skills and life skills. And I'm so very happy we are focusing on service industry. There are 3 components. There's agriculture, there's manufacturing, and there's services. Services sector is also known as tertiary sector. So education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. Don't talk about employment. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, startups, more and more self-employment. We are organizing almost 30 webinars per week, and be a part of it. You can see it later. When I talk about Northeast, I do not want to get back to 26 years, but the last 6 years, commendable work has been done and all that. And we are extremely happy that we are a part of this particular journey. We had a function of the Northeast that is in Nagaland at Dimapur, and that was for the Sustainable Development Goals. Thereafter, we had gone to Manipur. That was the third annual convention which we had done over there. That was on services exports to get more aircrafts and more flights to Northeast, because Northeast should be linked with the ASEAN. Can you imagine that Delhi is little far from Guwahati, vis-a-vis when I talk about certain destinations which are just across the boundary line, and we can travel to the ASEAN countries, and ASEAN is Southeast Asia. That is Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and Brunei. All the 10 countries when we talk about. So we have done a lot of functions. These are ground functions being done in Nagaland and in Manipur. Then our chamber had organized, see over here, we want more and more flights to come, strengthening aviation network between Northeast. And when you talk about BCLMV, that is, we are talking about Bangladesh, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, all the places that side. If you have more flights, it's because Northeast is a gateway. And when you talk about gateway, that means, and now everybody wants a facility, everybody wants to travel. Can you imagine how many people are traveling for their medical treatment to Manipur every day from Mandalay and a couple of other places, from via More border? They come all the way and they want to get treatment. In Assam, when we talk about the Northeast, that is 24th and 25th of March, that is at Guwahati, there was a very big function which we have taken care of. That was a business summit, and it was a potential basically catering for domestic and international. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, if you recall that the Honorable Prime Minister of India changed it from the Look East policy to the, what is that? Act East policy. That means let's do something in Northeast, and all of us, we got to do. So there was an inauguration of the ASEAN Study Center. It was done in Nehu, Shillong, that is Northeast Hill University. Professor Srivastava, the Honorable Vice Chancellor at that point of time over there, with the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, our chamber, we had a function on 8th and 9th of August 2016 in Shillong. And this particular center, now I personally feel that it should be somewhere on the entry point. That is when we are moving to Southeast Asia. If it moves to Manipur, I think it will do a better service, and Manipur's university can also do a great job on that. I personally feel, and our chamber would recommend that very strongly. Now, there was a Northeast ASEAN Business Summit that was on 7th to 9th at Imphal in Manipur. And thereafter, let me take you to Mumbai, the Bollywood. And there we had the entire Northeast, all the production houses, everybody from radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, artificial intelligence when we talk about. And we brought all the ambassadors of the ASEAN countries together on a common platform with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. It was a great function, great job, which I wish to share, because the Northeast youth are very musical. They love music, dance, and everything. They live life. That is something very good. They already possess those skills. The only thing is those skills have to be channelized with their startups, with their self-employment, with their entrepreneurship, whatever best can be done. Then we had, because Radisson Hotel has come up, which is very near to the Guwahati airport. Then we had another function over there. That was the international conference, which we had organized over there. It was again for the promotion of Northeast. And let me also share, when I'm talking about this particular function over here, ladies and gentlemen, just after this, there was Advantage Assam, very big function on 4th of February, which was done over there. That is, I'm talking about 2018. And that particular event was a great, grand success. People from world over had come to Guwahati. The Guwahati had completely, the entire airport area was expanded, renovated, developed, new areas being opened up over there. With the Airport Authority of India, I still recollect, because Dr. Mahapatra, He was that time the chairman of the Airport Authority of India. So that is the time, and Ravi Kapoor was basically the in charge for this particular project, and that was done in Guwahati. Mind blowing, from world over the people had come. Honorable Prime Minister had inaugurated that particular function. So youth empowerment, youth is wonderful. Youth can do a lot. Northeast youth are so good. They are so good. They look for direction. They want opening. They want to get across somewhere. So that is something very important we have to take care of. Then we have to do a hand holding of teachers also. Imagine when you do not have a proper bandwidth, when you do not have a proper seamless connectivity, when you do not have proper devices. I think if something can empower the entire Northeast India, it is education, education, and education. And there comes our beautiful children, our youth, and with that comes our teachers' empowerment. That is again which we have to do a lot. And education got to be relevant to our day-to-day life. Why not? Organic farming, there's a lot of potential. We will talk about it because I'm already doing health and wellness. People are bindas. People are very good in Northeast. Youth, they always live. They live every moment. And that is the way. I still recall from Nagaland, there was a director for education, and we were holding a function in the Hotel Radisson in Assam in Guwahati. And when he came to give his presentation, he came with a guitar. He played a little music before that, and that was so soothing and scintillating. We realized that particular day, why not? Music should be the integral part of education. And one of the professor to whom we just met recently on the YouTube, only on the Zoom session, he says, why humor is not integrated in education ecosystem. He says music, dance, and humor, they should be the integral part. People will have less of disease. Okay. Now something very important. Once you have taken the school education, and if you have taken the quality education, need-based education, futuristic education, then there is a startup, there is an entrepreneurship, there's a micro, small, and the medium enterprise, what we have to talk about. And ladies and gentlemen, during this entire pandemic, right from 25th of March, the studies which we have carried out world over and the data what we have collected, we have understood there is going to be a next misunderstanding world over on the water crisis, consumable water. Some of the countries which are making a lot of dams, if they will open the gates, they will bring floods, and if they close the gates, they will bring drought. Both are very adverse situations. We have to take care of it. We got to look into that very carefully. Every drop of water has to be saved by all of us, and that is possible only when we empower our women. Because at home you can save water, at school you can save water. Now you say how you're linking up, because there are lady teachers, there are women teachers, they are in schools, they are in colleges, they are in universities, they are in skill centers, they are into training providers, the complete hub mentors. They can do a lot. So women empowerment is very, very important, which we have to take care of. Our chamber is very closely working with the sector skill councils. There are 37 sector skill councils of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. We did a couple of programs initially with the health sector, then we came to entrepreneurship sector, then we came to security sector, then we came to office management sector skill council. Thereafter, we had come to media entertainment sector skill council. And nowadays, we are with the wellness sector skill council. And here is the CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you are interested to set up your beauty parlors or salons or spas or facials and looking smart, talking smart, walking smart, whatsoever you want to do it with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Monica Bahel, she is the CEO of the Wellness Sector Skill Council. With them, we are doing our programs nowadays because wellness is very important. When the schools and colleges will reopen now, children, teachers, educators, principals, everybody has to have mental wellness, physical wellness, environmental wellness, and with that, of course, spiritual wellness for which people come. Ayurveda, that plays very important role. You would say, Dr. Sharma, why are you showing this slide today? There's a reason. All these gentlemen, right under the ages when we started the program with the Ministry of Ayush and Namo Gange. I'm so grateful to all of them. We started with the Ministry of Ayush advisor. And right from there, and these are the speakers who came on the platform. And every Saturday in the evening at 6:30, we are talking about yoga, meditation, naturopathy, and then herbals. Now you would say, what linkage it has got with Atal Tinkering Lab? What linkage it has got today with the Northeast? It has got a direct linkage. I wish to share on this platform with all of you that, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about the biodiversity, maximum herbal plantation is in the northeast part of India, which is untapped. A lot of children will get an opportunity. A lot of children will become startups. A lot of innovation can take place. A lot of creativity can come. And this Atal Tinkering Lab profession, what we are going to talk today in schools and all that induction, this has got a direct linkage, because everything should be done depending on the climatic condition, plantation, agriculture, horticulture, floriculture, sericulture, and of course, human culture. All that when we take into consideration. If we have to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is only with the startup entrepreneur. But where from the startups will come? Where from the stand-ups will come? Where from these people will come? Okay, the education which is being imparted in schools, what is the quality of that school education? Okay, fine. This morning, we had a program from America. Every Sunday, we do it at 9:30 in the morning. Thereafter, we had 12:30, another program today. It was at 1 p.m. Waste to resource management. There is no waste. Whatsoever is coming out of our residence, it's not a waste. It's not a waste at all. All of us, we got to realize it's not a waste. It has to be utilized. Now you say how it is. All the 630 videos. This is the last program which I have done just before this. We go live, like this program is going live. No editing, no cut, tuck, 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 tuck. Sound, light, music, everything on. 630 webinars are available. You can see every aspect of education. This is one of the components in that, and that is on the YouTube channel GS Motivator. Like it, subscribe it, be a part of it, so that you get to know the notification well in advance. We are doing 30 programs in a week, whatever suits you. If you're a principal, you're a headmaster, you're a teacher, you're a government official, you're a decision maker, or you're a youth, it is applicable to all of us. We have to take care of. And after this, we have got next program at 5 p.m. That is Sunday, and that is for the micro, small, and the medium enterprise. Nitin Gadkari ji's government, the ministry, we make the whole roadmap from our chamber, that services sector to be made integral part of the MSME at par with the manufacturing sector. And you would be so very happy to know that our proposal was accepted by the secretary and the additional secretary. And today, the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise give the same treatment to services sector what is given to the manufacturing sector. This was announced by Honorable Nirmala Sitharamanji, the Finance Minister of India. So today at 5 p.m., making of Atmanirbhar Bharat industry perspective, that is at 5 p.m. And tonight, we will be going to United States, and we are talking about, again, entrepreneurship, innovation, startup, opportunities and challenges. This is the perspective from the NRIs. What do they think about it? This is the entire research, what we have done during the pandemic, your basic food, your basic health, your basic education. B2B is back to basics, sustainable development, what we have to take care of. This is the new golden triangle. It is not Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, but this is the new triangle, what we have to. And our chamber is deeply, deeply committed. World over, in 159 countries, we have taken a pledge, making education relevant, only doing the hand-holding for teachers and the youth empowerment. And please understand, earlier education was teaching centric, then it became learning centric, then teacher role became as a facilitator. Now teacher role is a co-learner, because the youth have got technology with them. We all got to understand, and that's the way we have to work on. So this is the last slide. whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant. And this also I wish to share that 12th of January, the Niti Aayog has released and launched Atal Tinkering Lab 2.0. And once they released it, these are the dignitaries, those are basically associated with that particular document. 12th of January was the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, which is coincided with Youth Day. So, this is the book, The Atal Tinkering Lab Handbook Journey Towards an Innovative and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you to the northeast part of India, beautiful northeast of India, 8 beautiful states of northeast of India, and they all are so wonderful. And I'm grateful to all those who have joined today from northeast. I would request you kindly post your views on the YouTube channel so that we know that you are with us. And some of us, we feel very shy. We are very innovative, we are very creative, but we don't sometimes express. May I humbly request you, on a social media, you must express. Unless you don't express, how people will come to know? Because when you open your mouth, you tell the whole world who you are. That is something very, very important. So, with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me once again extend a very warm welcome to Shri Sharad Bansalji and also to Sarat Singh ji. And that's beautiful. It's North and Northeast joining together. Sarat Bansalji is joining us from Jaipur, that is in Rajasthan. If you all know, is also known as a pink city. And my child and my friend Sarat is joining us from Guwahati, which is a part of Assam and which is a part of Northeast. We extend a very warm welcome to both of them, and let's take on the journey onward. Atal Tinkering Lab, empowering teachers, empowering youth, empowering education system, empowering everybody in Northeast part of India. Okay, Sharad Bansalji.
Uh, Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma. Thank you so much for amazing work that you have done in the past few years, and then for the introduction, warm introduction. I really envy the kind of impassion you have towards Northeast and the kind of genuine goodwill you have towards Northeast and the kind of work that you have done. Uh, at Tinkerly, I think when we started in Jaipur in northern India, we didn't know, I think, that this much of the work we will be doing in Northeast, frankly speaking. But I think we found from the beginning of Atal Tinkering Lab, we have several partners all across India. But I think Mr. Sharat Singh, who is on this call, is the one, I think he's associated with us from the very beginning. And the
Wow,
kind of effort he has done.
great, Sharad. Great, great, great. We got to
Thank
empower
you, sir. Thank you,
Northeast.
sir. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
we have to empower Northeast. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you so much.
yeah.
Because and you focused about that. Let's not talk about employment, let's talk about entrepreneurship. So again, Mr. Saras Singh is also another example for that, because he was earlier working in corporate, and then he left that. He started this as a initially as a part-time opportunity, but then he got into full-time, got inspired by entrepreneurship. And I think again a commendable thing. That's what youth should get inspired from, that how you can start, how can you put in the energy there, and then you can take it up as a full-time initiative and as a your own entrepreneurship. So talking about Tinkerly and talking about tinkering labs. So Tinkerly, as we mentioned, Tinkerly becomes a word from two different words, tinker and ly. Ly is a suffix and tinker is a word independently. Tinker means like doing some jugaad, doing something unstructured, unorganized, whatever you can play. You can break a toy, you can break a cycle, and then you can re-engineer it. That's all about tinker. That you are doing, playing with something without any structure around it. And when you add ly in a suffix, ly represents the behavior, a tendency. Let's say you know the words like friendly, you know the word like neighborly, you know the word. Several words are there which are using ly in their suffix. That means his nature is like very friendly. He is a very neighborly person. So this, when the ly is associated with something, that means it is coming in your habit, it's coming in your nature. And I think our goal with the organizations Tinkerly, our goal is that we bring this in the nature of kids, we bring this in the nature of school teachers, in the nature of youth, so that that's how they become more empowered. How does someone become empowered? When they are not dependent on something, they have a tendency in their nature, they have to tinker, and then that's how they get empowered really much. And I think today I would also like to announce one more thing, that before Tinkerly, this organization was used to be known as Srijna. So Srijna, as derived from the word Srijan, so used to call it a word called formation. In Northeast, I think most of our clients and schools know us again in the name of Srijan and Srijna. And Tinkerly is recently a more global form of this. When we decided that we want to go global, we want to do more product portfolios, then we decided that let's bring a word which can be remembered in the memory of every child, every uh, student. Giving my personal, before coming to Atal Tinkering Labs and sharing my presentation, giving me a brief introduction about myself, and then I'll also request Mr. Saras Singh to give his. I come from a service class family raised out of Rajasthan. My father belongs to a government job. We travel different places. Uh, then I landed up into IIT Delhi. So in IIT Delhi, we realized I was doing bachelor's there, and we realized that there is a methodology called LPT, like lecture, practical, and tutorial. So whatever you learn in theory, you should be doing practical of that, and that practicalness helps you into getting empowered in terms of what you can do ahead. So how can you do something practical? How can you innovate something in your higher education or your real life when you have gone to entire theory only in your entire school education? So everything you are being just mugging up, and you are not doing anything practical there, and then suddenly you are coming in the real life, and you are expected to do things practically. That is something where we realized that there is a huge mismatch was there, a gap was available. And then that's how in alignment we started working with a few schools. We evolved a lot. Government of India, Prime Minister Modi announced this Atal Innovation Mission in Vigyan Bhavan in 2017, when he announced that he would be bringing for schools, they will be bringing Atal Tinkering Lab. Fortunately, I was there at that time in that announcement. Few selected startups from all over the country were invited there, so that's how I got the opportunity. And then second, when this program started, again, we were the youngest company to be enlisted by the government of India, Niti Aayog, to be among those list of vendors who are supplying these tinkering labs. And I would say that we were the youngest and we are the best and the largest company in India who are
Wow.
supplying these adult tinkering
Wow.
labs.
Great. Great.
So I think that's how it's been along from my beginning to where we are today. I would request also Mr. Sarath also. I think there is some confusion in the name. I'm Sharad with D and Mr. Sarath with here, so maybe in pronunciation. But Sarath, would you like to inform how about you and your experience and
Yeah,
about?
thank you, sir. Actually, sir, actually, I came from the. Actually, I was associated with the Wipro on the corporate. So after that, I just got opportunity from the Sarat Bansalji, Mr. Opi Godra. So they are saying that Atal Tinkering from Niti Aayog project and Atal Tinkering Lab is coming. So after that, I got the list. Then I went when I just discussed with the talk to the principal and the headmaster. So they don't know what is the 3D printer, what is the Arduino, what is the sensor, they don't know. So I said, sir, I will tell you. After that, I just do the training from the Opi Godra and Saratji. So they are just teaching, and they are saying that this is the project, and this is the Arduino, this is the sensor. So after that, I just associate with them, and still now, sir, I am doing the same uh, project.
Okay.
Great. Great. Go ahead.
I
Go
think
ahead.
I'll share my presentation now to start with the today's. Thank you so much, Sarath, for sharing this. I am just sharing my presentation. So we'll start with a very small video of a video by Prime Minister Modi, where he was urging students and today's kids to learn coding, robotics, and IoT as per the new education policy, and then we will come how what we are doing. Uh, just a second.
साथियों, राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को इसी तरह तैयार किया गया है ताकि सिलेबस को कम किया जा सके और फंडामेंटल चीजों पर ध्यान केंद्रित किया जा सकेगा। साथियों, भविष्य की दुनिया हमारी आज की दुनिया से काफी अलग होने वाली है। हम इसकी जरूरतों को अभी से देख सकते हैं, सेंस कर सकते हैं। ऐसे में हमें अपने स्टूडेंट्स को 21st सेंचुरी की स्किल्स के साथ आगे बढ़ाना है और इसलिए छात्र शुरुआत से ही कोडिंग सीखे, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को समझे, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग, डाटा साइंस और रोबोटिक्स, इससे जुड़े सारी बातों को भी उसके परिचय में उसको लाना होगा, हमें इसको देखना होगा।
So this is something which Prime Minister has mentioned in 2020 in one of his speech when he was talking about new education policy. But I think Tinkerly has been doing the same thing from 2015, and I think we have created that foundation along with many others peer companies that where we come today, and then government can introduce that in the now the new education policy will include these kind of learnings. So let's talk about how Tinkerly is playing its role in Northeast's education mechanism and the STEM solutions that we are providing. STEM means a way that how you can integrate science, technology, engineering, maths with the regular subjects like languages, social science, or any other subject that we are covering in the school. Giving brief about Tinkerly, we founded the company was started in 2015. The goal was to make the learning as simple as interesting, that any child who is a 6-year-old or maybe a 17-year-old, 18-year-old can make technology as their hobby. So you might be knowing some kids have hobby of music, some kids have hobby of sport, some kids have hobby of dance. But what we are trying to do is to make this as easy as simple that kids can make STEM as a hobby, STEAM as a hobby, where they can create technologies and robotics like there as a hobby. Uh, in that order, we created an online learning platform. I'll demonstrate that later. That how thousands of kids are already using that. India's nationally software associations company, I mean organization NASCOM has announced Tinkerly among the top 10 leading AI startups in the country. Forbes magazine, they recently created a web series on Tinkerly, which was hosted by celebrity author Chetan Bhagat. These are some of the accolades that Tinkerly has received in these years. And I'll cover, we have a partnership with IEEE. YesIst IEEE is an internet Institute of Electronics and Engineers, Electronics and Electrical Engineers worldwide. We organize an international competition on these innovative ideas where countries, especially Southeast Asian countries and Indian students and otherwise worldwide students participate for these competition. So this is a brief about Tinkerly. All in all, if you look, more than a lakh of students in northeastern states are learning in tinkering lab, in the functional labs in tinkering. You can see some images of these kids, their training programs while they are attending these workshops. In these all schools, so kids are learning on day-to-day basis, not in this year in pandemic, but in from last 3 years they have been learning. This year they are doing a lot of online stuff, which I'll also show you. So you see one image from the top. This is a school based out of Mizoram, another is school based out of Assam, another school is based out of Meghalaya. So this is how these schools are situated. We are working in almost 6 states there already. Uh, so Tinkerly, while we started as a company out of Jaipur, but now it's globally acknowledged. We have received Leaders in Innovation Fellowship from Royal Academy of Engineering, London. I shared about Forbes, Howard University in US, in their South Asia campus. They certified us for the work we are doing. Also got an award for the best solution STEM education in India. But I've been using the word STEM, and I think Dr. Sharma has always emphasized the word STEAM. But what is STEAM? What is STEM? And you might be wondering that tinkering suna hai, Atal tinkering lab suna hai, but STEM क्या है? STEAM क्या है? तो ये कोई एक और buzzword नहीं है. You do not have to think कि एक और buzzword कोई आ गया. This is not just that. दिस इज समथिंग जो कि 2000 में यूनाइटेड स्टेट में इट इमर्ज्ड that what is STEM learning and why it emerged in United States first and not in India. It emerged there because there people were more habitual off screen and not on hands on. They were not knowing how to use a hammer, how to create an electronic circuit, how to change the bulb in the holder. They were not knowing that in that age. Their kids were not knowing that. So they realized this need, and gradually India, already the world's leading service exporter. Now India also feel that in order to achieve a further growth and to benefit from the demographic dividend we have, as half of the population is less than 28-year-old in India, we also need to upskill ourselves with the technologies that involves hardware as well, so that we can not only be the leaders in services, but we can also be the leaders in terms of making as well, and making using our own strengths, our own capacities. So the mechanism of implementing STEM is that you integrate this with the existing educational model, and that the curriculum how we are using it, I'll also cover about that. Some facts I'll show you. I have updated a few facts here which will enlighten you that why STEM is important, why STEAM is important. uh, so there is one fact which says that 50,000, what is the employment percentage in India? Someone might wonder. You can chat and you can comment in the chat box if you are watching on live on YouTube. But just think what is the employment rate in India, and you will be surprised that with that employment rate, 50,000 jobs for artificial intelligence are remaining vacant. People are not knowing how to do that job, and that's why these jobs are vacant. This is a report from NASCOM. Another report is that average hourly wage of an STEM engineer or STEM graduate is more than what an overall average age of per day for a normal person. So a person who is upskilled in STEAM and STEM is making in 1 hour what the other person is making in the entire day. And then there are a lot of things. Girls' involvement has to be increased. We have been working on a lot of whole girl schools. There are more and more jobs are coming up in this segment, and the kids are also getting interested. Tinkerly. Now, what is our approach in what we are doing here in this model? So you can see the one child in the left and one child in the right. So the child in the left is said. You can see the child in the left is said that his toy is broken. Now you don't know what to do. This was the situation of in 2000 for the kids in US, and now it's the situation everywhere in the entire world that they don't know how to fix their toys. And that's the beginning of where this kind of STEAM education is important, where we provide this content digitally and in the schools, in the and the kids at home with our innovative kits, so that the child is innovative enough, creative enough that they can fix their own problems, so starting with the toy and then maybe the larger problems in their society, in their homes, in their country, that they will be able to solve. And we make that as interesting. Why we say this, that they fall in love with learning? We need to make this learning as simple as interesting, with maintaining the balance of learning and fun. So sometimes what happens is that the programs, educational programs, when let's say a conventional program comes, it's too much learning but not very much of fun, so kids not get sustained, they don't retain the content. In some elements, sometimes you create gamified education. When we talk about gamified education, where fun is that much, learning is lesser. Somewhere you need to create that balance, and that Tinkerly is able to do in what we are doing. Some of the offerings, we have a large portfolio of products that we are doing. We provide online courses for coding, IoT, robotics, as the Prime Minister was saying about new education policy. Kids can learn at home during the pandemic and even after that if they do not find the teachers around them. And we send a kit also, a box also at their home. We will talk about Tinkering Lab in detail today. We'll talk about our mobile application, which is freely available for any child across the world. We'll talk about that and some innovative kits that we have created. We will also talk about that. Tinkering Lab. So what is Tinkering Lab? What is to be there? Why the requirement of Tinkering Lab? So Tinkering Lab's objective is that to create innovative, neoteric innovators in the country. Neoteric innovators means the first time novel innovators in the country. Now imagine the government's goal is to set up 30,000 labs in the coming years. 30,000 labs, your school can have a Tinkering Lab. If not yet, you can apply for that, I think. And that's where we are connected here for Northeast also. Many schools don't even know how to apply for Tinkering Lab. how to get an adult tinkering lab grant, which government is giving a 20 lakhs rupees of grant. So I'll request in the coming slides from Mr. Sarath also that how the schools can apply for that, how we can help you also in getting that grant from Niti Aayog. And in case you have applied, you have it, but you don't know it how to use it. That is also a concern, that the government give you 20 lakh rupees, but you don't know how to make the best utilization of that also. That is also important. You might have set up a lot of things in the school, but how many of the things you are using? That's the question mark. You might have a science lab, you might have a math lab, you might have computer lab, but how many of the things your students are using? So we make sure that you use that, and that's how we will request how we are enabling that as well. But tinkering labs goal is to create a lot of things. If I ask people, when we ask kids, several kids, about what is tinkering lab, if you need to define it in one word, uh, then many kids said different answers. They told different answers. They said this is a space where you can think new. There is nothing which we have done earlier. You can think big because there is no limitations in our thinking. You can think out of the box because every child come up with different ideas. You can be innovative, you can be creative, you can be imaginative, that whatever you have seen in Star Wars movies, you can create that in your school's lab. You can imagine what you can be creating solutions for the local and the global problems. You can become entrepreneurs, that Dr. Sharma has emphasized. You can use the best technologies in materials. You imagine, I was in IIT Delhi, which was one of the top notch institute in the country. In 2011, there was hardly one or two 3D printers in the entire campus. I did not see in the campus at that time. In the Indian Institute of Technology in 2011, I did not see any 3D printer in my 4 years in the college. Now your school can have a 3D printer. That is the wonder of technology, how it quickly it comes and how better it should utilize. Now you go any part of the world and you can say, I use 3D printer in my 5th grade. Can you imagine the confidence of the child when they will be doing this? So tinkering lab. And what we are doing, you can see one of the designs, what kind of tinkering lab we are setting up here. We provide boot camps, we provide manuals, we provide entire digital content, how this is monitored, all of this. So Mr. Sarath, would you like to, Sarath ji, aap batana chahenge about how, what is there in the tinkering lab and how this educators who are part of from Northeast region can be benefited by this scheme? Would you like to share some things?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So, see, like, sir, many schools are now, it is already they are getting the ATL lab. So now after the, they don't know this what is the 3D and what is the robotics. Okay. So after the getting training, so they are asking for, again and again, sir, we actually very good for us, our students, and students are eagerly to learn. So a lot of students are now, it is very 80% to 90% they are learning. So, and this the pandemic situation also, they are asking me for online training, like online learning. So at that time, as my engineers, our engineers has contact to them, and they are giving to support, and they are giving to learning, and they are very it's interested. And the Mizoram also is, Mizoram is very far from the here, and the network problem also is here. So, but we are connecting to them, and they are also very eagerly to learning. So they are saying that no, sir, actually, in the 1 week, for the 1 week, 2 classes is mandatory, like online class. So I said, oh, no issue, sir. We are doing, we will do that, no issue. So they are giving the time also to evening times, 3 to 4 and 5 to 4 to 5. Okay, so but sometimes in the network problem, but they are very interested for this 3D, how to do use the 3D, and how to do this robotic, and how to do this Arduino. So they are very interesting. And Assam also, Manipur also, we have the two, three schools are there in the Manipur. So I have contacting the today, yesterday morning also they are contacting. They are saying that they are asking, sir, our 3D some issue. So what to do? So I said, sir, don't worry, I will guide you how to do this operate. So that is the, sir, challenges in the Assam, and they are very interesting. And the Atal Tinkering Lab is in a very exciting there. And, all the principal and the headmaster and students now. So they don't know then they are just 3D printers is they are eagerly to learning, and they are very interested to the 3D printers.
Right. Right. So I'll tell you about. I've taken this screenshot from Niti Aayog's ATL handbook, and they have differentiated science labs from tinkering lab. Now you can see that there might be science lab in every school, but these are designed for guided experiment, while tinkering labs are completely for open-ended experiments. There is no one single solution from one problem statement. You can do many things. This equipments are not that expensive and fragile. You can use it very without any fear of damaging these uh, important elements. Science lab have an static design. They need a particular setup. Tinkering labs you can create in various ways, various forms, and you can do a lot of creativity. Last time when we were doing this webinar, Dr. Sharma also suggested that why not to bring a tinkering lab on wheels also in Northeast and impact more and more students. And then a lot of topics.
Because of the terrain, because of the geographical location, it will help a lot over there.
Right, sir. Right, and I think I love that idea, and that is something should be doable. Then there is these are not limited with the topics which are there in the books, but kids can do much more than that. And there is no fixed curriculum. So there is a curriculum, but there is no fixed curriculum. So there is an initial exposure that you get from the curriculum that is provided, but kids can do much more than what is there. You do not have to worry about grades. You do not have to worry about exams in these lab. I'll show you a few videos of a tinkering lab, how we are setting up a tinkering lab there in the schools. I'll show you a couple of videos from 2017 to 2020, and you'll see what kind of support and how we are associated with the schools in Northeastern region. So we did a session for teachers in 2017. We invited our India-wide school teachers in IIT Delhi. There the professors from the dean and the professor of head of design, they train the teachers and how this should be used. A small video here.
Take out from the mind of a person. If I touch it, something will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. The background that you people are putting at the back of their mind. Let them do whatever they feel like. And if that sort of feeling that if they have in their mind, I'm very sure that they will create something. Thinking that aspect has to be each lab. Then that you will be able to take the advantage of that.
Suppose teacher is continuously delivering something in the class. Let's say it's a constant information which is fed to a student. The maximum time when the student probably can receive is 15 minutes. So you need to pause and do certain other interventions so that whatever is there in your RAM goes into hard disk. Maybe I am discussing about a sensor. Can you give that sensor in the hands, which probably people can touch and feel it, and that kind of actually brings back their interest also, as well as it reinforces whatever has been said, and again you can take another look at it.
The video which was shot when we were known as Rajna. And so this is the initiative that we took in 2017, and then I'll show you something what we did in 2019 and 2018 as well. Going before those videos, I'll show you what's the process of setting up this tinkering lab and what is being done. So let's say in Niti Aayog's scheme you want to apply. First of all, you need to be a school which is available till at least 10th grade. Then you can apply. Many schools have been already announced. 6,000 schools world India wide have been announced. And before that, around 3,000 more had also been announced. So if you are already selected, then you can contact Mr. Sarath in there and us in Tinkerly. You can come to our website also and reach out to us that how to set up this, how to best utilize this, how to get the advanced products from worldwide in our lab that we can provide you. We provide you on-site training in the school that my team will come to you. Local support person is also there in the Northeast. We have a full-time team there who can visit the school and train the staff, as you can see as you have seen in the photographs as well. Second is that there would be a mobile application which will be provided to students, so that way they can learn anytime. So sometimes there is a network problem, but you get a network at a particular time in your home, so you can use that content in that particular time. You can download those videos and you can watch anytime. uh, Interestingly, we have created a Hindi medium content also. So many schools had requested us in the previous years that we want an Hindi medium content as well, along with the English medium. So that we have also launched on our application. I'll show you some samples there. We do assessments, we do competitions, along with IEEE as well. We do project monitoring a lot. So end-to-end turnkey solution for the school who wants to establish. But the important part, I emphasize that what is the curriculum? How do you support in terms of using this entire lab in a year? So we created a 28 sessions, 28 weeks of curriculum. And other than that, kids can do on their own. We include aerospace, robotics, science, design, architecture, IoT, automobile, artificial intelligence, everything. So there are dedicated sessions for each of that. And you can see that first is introduction session. Then there are 19 classes happening for basic understanding that your teacher can teach the students on individual skill sets. We provide some content, so you are getting that content, you can read it and you can use it. So all that way you can teach, and the overall year long you can run this, and you can ask as many support requests you have on digitally on our application. These are some of the images of the teacher training program that we do. So the more very important element is that the staff who is running this tinkering lab, what kind of training they will be getting from us. So you can see the image in the left. There is a team from SAP Softwares, global team, the person from Germany. They also visited some of our schools and saw that what kind of work is happening. In the center, you can see former Secretary of MHRD, Mr. Anil Swarup, has been awarding Tinkerly. And my co-founder Opi Godara is here, who was awarded by Secretary Mr. Education for the commendable work we are doing in the form of STEAM education. I was talking about STEM learning in the Global Educational Summit in the Ananta Hotel in Udaipur last year. In the right image, you can see Mr. Sonam Wangchuk with my team. Mr. Sonam Wangchuk, if you have heard of from the Ladakh region, he comes. He is the popular name, and then in his idea, the Three Idiots movie was created. So someone who has been doing commendable job in education sector. My team was with him in the last year. And not only that, we are just providing a formal training. Many of our schools are doing innovative work, and the teachers are getting Teacher Innovator Awards. So you can see one school from Kerala. He was awarded in Udaipur, and I was with him at that time in the Future of Schools conference, Future of Education conference in Bangalore, and they were awarded. So many school and their teachers get awarded when they take training from Tinkerly and in from the government platform, from the various conferences that are happening on time to time basis. I'll show you some of the centralized training now. Since we're talking about teacher training, I'll show you what kind of teacher training we do. So we invite some of the teachers from Northeastern region to Jaipur, or sometimes in the locally in Guwahati, what kind of workshops we do. I'll take some couple of minutes and show you that what is these happening. And you can imagine, you can see how many institutes, how many schools are coming in from Northeast and participating in these workshops. This one is from 2008.
gap is what he is expecting and what is being delivered. There's no more for a gap. Are you able to understand?
Both of them will, this one is made with water and this one is with air. Both of them have the same volume, but mass of this one is more dense because water is more denser than the air.
This was a competition on design thinking that we conducted for school teachers in that training programs, and they all came up with their designs. So it's not just that teachers are putting in a lot of effort to understand what is all happening in these tinkering labs, and then kids are also learning along with that.
So technology, what I want to say, technology is not smart classes. It's not smart boards. And when I am heading school at Agra right now, so the first thing I just convinced my director was, sir, I don't want smart classes.
To the young friends, students, so that they know how to use them.
बहुत ज़्यादा हायर लेवल का है, but now I understand. I get made a love for the blind that can detect each and every obstacle in front of it, and I assure you that is not available on the internet. Earlier I can't think that I could make that. People, you will be shocked that the students in the 80th labs, there are 7th grade standard students. They made a computer using Raspberry Pi. But I wasn't.
So we organized this panel discussion where there was a faculty from IIT Roorkee, there was a founder of an education media company, and there was a student from a school, and he was confident enough to share his experience in what is happening in tinkering labs. Many other things we do in these workshops where we are enabling teachers to participate and then enjoy their time while they are also learning. And you might have seen in this video that there are teachers from Assam, there are teachers from Agra, there are teachers from I'll show you another video of the recent training program that we conducted. We would have done this year also if the pandemic was not here. But there are a lot of teachers from Assam that came to Jaipur and enjoyed this time.
We are here. We have learned a lot of about the unlearned things, and we will try our best to provide this to our students.
The master trainer teaches us so goodly, so nicely. I apply in my school in Atal Tinkering Lab.
যে মই প্ৰথম যেতিয়া এই টিংকাৰী লেব সম্পৰ্কে একো জনাই নাছিলোঁ, বহুত ভেণ্ডৰ গৈছিলে, তেতিয়া মই ভেণ্ডৰ চিলেক্ট কৰাত মানে অসুবিধা হৈছিল। কিন্তু মই পাছত এনেকুৱা ভেণ্ডৰ মানে সৃজনাক এই কাৰণত মানে মই পচন্দ কৰিলোঁ যে সৃজনাৰ বহুত মানে লেব মানে বহুত লেব বনাইছে, আৰু তাৰপিছতো আমি সৃজনাই যিবিলাক মানে আমাক দিছে আৰু আমাৰ শৰৎ সিঙৰ যোগেদি আমি আটাইখিনি মানে মেটেৰিয়েলছে খুব ভাল পাইছোঁ। আৰু যেতিয়া মই লেপটপটো মই তেনেকৈ বেছি চলোৱা নাছিলোঁ, যেতিয়া মোৰ ল'ৰাজনো সি ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰিং পাছ, সেইদিনা যেতিয়া মই ঘৰত আনিছিলোঁ তেতিয়া সি এটা কথাই কৈছে, খুব মানে ভাল লেপটপ পাইছা। তেতিয়া মোৰ মানে আৰু কনফিডেন্স সৃজনা।
I hope it will be very helpful to the students and for the teachers, and our students are very encouraged. And I am also very happy to get this opportunity to attend this 2 days training program.
Thank you to Tinkering Group. I offer my thankful gratitude to Tinkering Lab.
सृजना के सृजनशील कार्य के लिए बहुत बहुत सारे धन्यवाद।
See the schools managements are confident and they are using these programs. They are being given several training programs along with Tinkerly's centralized team, and they are enabled to run these labs effectively in their schools. Now we talked about Atal Tinkering Labs and the kind of labs that we are doing, but several times you might be from the schools where there is no tinkering lab, or you might be in the school who are trying to do more such things without the government fund yet received. So you can start doing small thing in your schools, and when you are enabled that you are doing taking some initiatives for science and technology and engineering and arts and maths, when you're taking such initiatives, then your application to Niti Aayog becomes even stronger, that you are already investing some amount into putting in these efforts, and then your selection rates for that grant will also increase. And if you are a child, if you are a teacher watching this and you see that some of your kids can be benefited, you can also see the ways that Tinkerly has designed a kit for artificial intelligence, a kit for science DIY experiments, kit for Arduino based IoT kits on agri-tech, water tech, biotech, three major systems which Dr. Sharma emphasized for Northeast. We have a system of applying Internet of Things into those ecosystems. In agriculture, how to use technology, in biotechnology, in biomedical, in water sanitation related experiments, how you can use technology and can use local strengths and can solve local problems using kits. So one can order these from our application from Amazon also. They can find these kits relevant for kids of 8 to 16-year-old. Now this is the most beautiful part that I wanted to cover, is that the application. So in your school or any school, in any child, irrespective of they are a customer, they are paying anything for Tinkerly or not, nothing. This is a free platform that we have created, Let's Tinker application, where kids can come and learn anything about 3D printing, robotics, coding, IoT, and all the curriculum which is available there is accredited by in world's largest and biggest organization, STEM.org, which certifies and accredits content related to it. So we work on quality. We work on we emphasize on what we are providing is the best, because it's children. It's the future of the country. We cannot compromise with the quality here at whatever cost. And this is end-to-end free. You can be in a government school, a private school, end-to-end free. You can achieve see this content. So we have 250 plus such videos and projects covered in that. Already 50,000 downloads are there on this application. You can find the content on class-wise manner, age-wise manner, based on your preference, like you want to see robotics, you want to see any XYZ other technology. And if you are creating a project, you are stuck somewhere, you can ask a doubt also, and my support team will provide you an answer online. So this is something where even if the teacher is not available, a child can get their query solved, and we are not charging anything, all of that. So we are the number one tinkering app and among the top 3 STEM learning apps worldwide on the Play Store, and that's what Tinkerly represents there. And a lot of these students come from Northeast. Believe it or not, they come from the Northeastern states. We focus on support like this, and just how the kids can ask us support on the WhatsApp. They can also find out the type of query, and they can ask on their queries on our application, just like how you are searching on Google, but you can find XYZ things on Google and you can find an answer which is suitable for an engineering graduate. But how to get an answer for a eighth grader or for a sixth grader, that's what you can come on Let's Tinker and I ask the question in that manner. So this is how the support is something which is a key component of whatever programs that we run directly or indirectly. You can also subscribe for various codes. You can purchase kits also from this platform, which is the only thing. A lot of reviews we receive on daily basis on this platform, that they're finding this very useful from kids, from parents, from teachers on all part of the world. Now, before coming to this, I'll give you a brief demonstration of how we do it all. So this is the platform which we have, I think. So this is the Let's Tinker platform. If you have an Android mobile phone, you can download it from Android. You can look for Let's Tinker, that is written here. You can look here, the Let's Tinker on your Play Store, or you can go on the website also, letstinker.tinker.ly, or you can say just letstinker.ly as well. Lot of projects on classified based on the categorized based on the beginning, easy, normal, or hard, difficult projects. Here you can select. If you select on any particular category, you can find out too many more projects also on this category, and you can do experiments related to that. You can watch a small video for those experiments. Then other than that, there is a Tinkerpedia. So Tinkerpedia is something where you can see questions related to just like a Wikipedia of tinkering or STEAM. Then we have courses on English for all grades. In Hindi also, we have recently launched courses on all grades. This is a paid version. So if you want more than what is just a support, you can ask for entire 3 months long course and get certified by Tinkerly as well. That is another thing that you can do. We do a lot of quizzes. If you participate in quizzes, participation is at no cost, and you perform well in these quizzes, you can get scholarships in multiple ways from Tinkerly. We do a lot of live sessions here. Again, every month we do 2 webinars, and in each webinar there are 3 sessions where kids can come and attend multiple sessions. So this is the previous webinars that you can see. All is available as a repository. So you go in the live sections, you can go in the repository. There are English sessions happening. There are Hindi workshops also we organize, like how to use a digital sensor, how to play with the light, how to play with IoT. So हिंदी में उसको हमारे IoT की प्रयोजन उन सभी चीजों को आप हिंदी में भी कैसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. So इस तरह से आपको
शरद जी इसको थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर दीजिए कि आपके 2 प्रोग्राम कब कब होते हैं, सो दैट बच्चे एक बार उसको ध्यान से समझ लेंगे. टीचर्स भी जो देख रहे हैं, प्रिंसिपल्स भी, एक बार दोबारा बता दीजिए कि व्हेन ऑल डू यू हैव दीस प्रोग्राम्स.
राइट. सो आप जब भी लेट्स टिंकर ऐप पे जाओगे तो आप मोबाइल में इस लैब को डाउनलोड कर लीजिए. सभी ग्रेड्स के लिए है और इसमें आपको एक नोटिफिकेशन आता है यहाँ पे. सो ऐसा नोटिफिकेशन आपको फोन में भी आएगा और इसको आपको ये वेब पे भी आता है कि कब ये सेशन हमारे होने वाले हैं. सो हमारा जो नेक्स्ट सेशन होगा, जैसे पिछला जो सेशन हुआ था वो 23 जन को स्टार्ट हुआ था और उसके बाद 24 जन तक ये चला था. अब अगला जो सेशन आएगा वो हमारा नेक्स्ट वीक आएगा. सो हम ये इसको अनाउंस करते रहते हैं ऑन टाइम टू टाइम बेसिस. तो यहाँ आप देख सकते हो लास्ट जो हुई है 21, 23, 25. अब ये पॉसिबली अगला वीक जो होगा हमारे अपकमिंग वीक में ये शेड्यूल होगा. इससे पहले ये जनवरी 13 को था, उससे पहले दिसंबर 28 को था. आपको जो अपकमिंग सेशंस होंगे वो इसी सेक्शन में दिख जाएंगे. जैसे ही वो लॉन्च होंगे आप उनको सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हो. सो जब भी वो स्टार्ट होंगे आपको फिर से नोटिफिकेशन आ जाएगा कि आपको इसको देखना है. अगला जो सेशन है शायद हम वो अगला सेशन ही हमारी अगली वेबिनार हिंदी मीडियम में हम करने वाले हैं, और अगर अगला नहीं तो उससे नेक्स्ट. सो फरवरी में एक वेबिनार जो 3 सेशंस होंगे वो हमारे हिंदी मीडियम में भी होंगे एज अ लॉन्च आइटम. और आपको कुछ नहीं करना. जैसे ये तो क्योंकि पुरानी वेबिनार से तो आप इनको डायरेक्टली क्लिक करके प्ले कर सकते हो. यहाँ पे आप जाओगे तो ये प्ले हो जाती हैं. लेकिन अगर आप इनमें से किसी भी वेबिनार को जो अपकमिंग वेबिनार्स होने वाली हैं अगर आप उसको देखना चाहते हो तो वहाँ पे एक सब्सक्राइब का बटन आएगा, उसको बस प्रेस कर दो. सो जब भी नेक्स्ट टाइम whenever this will start, so you will get a notification. And during these webinar kids can ask different various questions also. You can see just like YouTube, you will get queries here, you can get answered here. My support team is also there. So it's a live session happening along with the question and answer happening. So roughly 1 घंटे का सेशन होता है.
Hello all smart kids, how's going?
टॉपिक्स होते हैं which kids can learn over there. So ये हिंदी मीडियम में हमने किया था, ये हमने नवंबर में किए हैं, बट हम उसको और ज्यादा अब फरवरी में वापस हमारी हिंदी मीडियम की वेबिनार स्टार्ट होने वाली है. So
somebody has posted a question that they got to go from your app. They got to go from your app because somebody has asked from Nagaland.
Okay.
So do they have to come on your app?
Yeah. So they can go on the application. In the application, if they have downloaded and logged in. So in the footer.
That is Let Us Tinker.
Let Us Tinker, yes.
Let Us Tinker is the app. So ladies and gentlemen, all of us, we should know. People, those are asking me, it is Let Us Tinker app. On that you go. And from there, then once you register, then you can get your notifications from Sharadji, and then accordingly you can join. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So on the Play Store also, one can find out this Let's Tinker application, and in the mobile phone they will download it. So I'll just also brief you very quickly. So mobile app will look like this. And in this application, in the bottom, there are multiple buttons. So you just need to select the rightmost button and you will find the live sessions there. And you will be able to do all of those activities there. So I think coming towards the conclusion, and we can open up for questions from now onwards. So we have been, we have been doing a lot of work in STEAM education from last 5 years, especially with the motive of creating, we get a lot of feedback from the region as well, and based on that we modify content, we modify our operations and services. And for that we have been awarded several times by the Government of India Department of Science and Technology, by the Harvard University under the Startup India program, by the Government of Rajasthan. The lab that you're seeing behind me is the one that we established in the Rajasthan government's largest incubation center for startups, which can accommodate more than 800 startups in one single building. So in that building, they established a tinkering lab, and that is what Tinkerly has done. And similar lab you can get. So you can see a 3D printer in behind me, and you can see a lot other activities. So I think that's it from my side. Thank you so much for providing us time and platform, Dr. Sharma. And I think we are very much open
Yes.
to questions now.
Okay, I think first of all, let me convey my thanks to you. It was a wonderful, very, very informative session because we have just started beginning today. So many more to come. And it's a humble beginning. It's a wonderful beginning. And all the principals and teachers, those have joined this program, and the youth also. Pritika, you have asked that, do you have any lab in Arunachal Pradesh? Do you have any lab in Arunachal Pradesh?
I think we are talking to a few schools already in Arunachal Pradesh, and soon we will be
Director Saab is watching, so there is no problem. Director Saab is there online, so we will. There are the second question also. Renguma also is for Arunachal. Julie ma'am. Before launching the Atal Tinkering Lab in school for the children, school authorities participants will be welcome to carry the initiative forward. Okay. Now, how are you taking the school teachers on board? Is it directly the principal can reach you and then accordingly? And would it be organized in the respective states in Northeast only, or how would you plan it out? Or would it be digital? Teachers training. We are talking about.
So in the teachers training, we firstly, we establish the lab, then after establishing the lab, we provide a 3 to 7 days of training in the school, where my trainer goes to the school and their faculty along with some students, they learn together, and they are being trained for using this laboratory. That is the first phase of training. Then in that training, we also help them to use how to use the curriculum on the mobile app, which is throughout the year. And after 6 months, we organize a centralized training, which is either situated in Guwahati or in Jaipur, or based on the centralized location that is changing year to year. So these are the 3 ways we provide.
Okay, this question is not very clear to me, but she's writing, we have few labs in Manipur, but couldn't see them putting the initiative that I've not understood. We have few labs in Manipur, but couldn't see them putting the initiative that much. Maybe I mean, say a little bit more encouragement is required or hand holding is required. Maybe from that point of view. Great regards to Honorable Prime Minister. God bless Northeast. Okay, we need more tinkering labs in Northeast. Niti Aayog is doing wonderful by installing entrepreneurship skill in the youth right from the schools. Okay, then this is grateful. Okay, great. Now, just is there any question on this? Just a second. Great session, wonderful session, good initiative, wonderful. Okay, now I've got a few things to take from you. Sarat, S-A-R-A-T, I'm talking. Now I'm not talking Sharad Bansalji. I'm talking my child and my friend from Guwahati, Assam, that is Sarat.
Yes, sir.
And now Sarat will vouch with me, Sharadji, that Northeast is very rich with dance, music, culture, and a lot of festivities and everything over there and all that. Gamification, yesterday also you talked about, and I suggested you, because as far as skills on wheels is required and to be done, I've already done the experiment in Sikkim. Length and breadth, the whole state has been covered. We have done the program over there with the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, for empowering the teachers and the youth and students. Okay, now the similar vehicle, we brought, the concept to Chandigarh, and we had a similar kind of a program which was launched by the Honorable Governor of Punjab and Administrator Chandigarh, who happens to be from Rajasthan, VP Singh Badnaurji. He launched our vehicle that was Skills on Wheels, and we were focusing on soft skills and life skills. So Northeast children have got a natural, inborn, inherent skills that is towards music, towards dances, towards culture. They are very, very innovative, vibrant, and colorful, you know. So when I take that into consideration, Sharaji, we have to bring with gamification music also in Atal Tinkering Lab. This is my recommendation to you today, because all my dignitaries, those are watching, I would request if we bring music also integral. Sarath, what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, this is a great. This is a great, because notice people are actually like to music and listening to music, and that is a very important, sir. This is a very good.
Right. So it is endorsed by your person also now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We should work on that. Okay. Now I'm giving you, Sharad Bansalji, another area. Northeast has got a very long boundary, and they have got a very similar culture, features also. A couple of other things we have to take into consideration when we look towards Southeast Asia, right? So our chamber, because we are a global chamber. So from Northeast, I am looking forward to students exchange, cultural exchange, academic exchange, research exchange, teachers exchange with Southeast Asia. And when I look at those 10 countries, I think let us work on to, because I found you, and out of the whole the galaxy which we invited, we found that you are committed, and you're deeply committed, and you have done a commendable work for which we would like to appreciate your efforts. And let's think about Northeast with Southeast Asia also. Vietnam economy is growing very fast. They are very keen. Both the presidents are closely associated with us, which are for the Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam. Similar way, let's start from Myanmar. Myanmar, both the presidents are close to us. There is no problem. Cambodia, Majumdarji, he had been doing, he's a president over there. We can take him. Singapore, we can take on. Malaysia, we can take on. Our present president, he comes from Thailand. So Southeast Asia is over there very strong, because he owns a hotel right in the middle of the city, Bangkok. So what I'm telling is that Southeast Asia can be combined with Northeast India, and we can do a lot of things, because your over here it is known as Atal Tinkering Lab. There we may call it something else, like we have got a finishing lab, we have got a skill lab, we have got a soft skill lab, or we have got a couple of things we can take on, you know. And I think it's a wonderful input which you have given today. So once, before we close the session, just give the steps once again. Any school, whether government or private, because I want to go a little slow. You know, sometimes you have to give them the steps so that they understand. So any government school or any private school, they can apply for this particular grant. And once they apply for it, then you will synthesize the applications and everything and all that. And thereafter, the Niti Aayog supports. How much finance initially Niti Aayog gives?
Right. So I'll just take a little bit slight back step. So any school, rightly said by sir, that either government or private, they can apply. On the application process, there are certain questions that will be asked. So we have some blogs and videos in Hindi and English both. So you can come on Tinkerly's also YouTube channel or blogs that we can share with you. Okay. So to watch that, how to do that, first step. Second, usually in 3 to 5 months, government Niti Aayog announces the shortlisted schools. Okay. In that school list, if your name is coming in, then there are further formalities that needs to be done. Those formalities also, at that time, you can contact us. Like we have a team in Northeast in the leadership of Mr. Sarath Singh. So you can contact us and we can provide you entire consulting in terms of applying there.
Okay.
Once you have filled that, again, after 2 to 3 months, your fund is dispersed in your account.
So how much total money do they give?
So the total grant would be 20 lakhs. The first installment is 12 lakhs.
12 lakh. 12 lakh is the first installment. And then how does the remaining 8 comes to them? Because they should know the complete process.
Right. I'll tell you. So 20, out of 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs is for lab settlement, lab establishment, and 10 lakhs is for the operational expenses like training, etc. Out of this 10 plus 2 for the first year's operations and the establishment, 12 lakhs come in the first year. Then next 4 years, 2 lakhs each come. 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So total it will make 20 lakhs rupees.
Okay. So hand holding is about 5 years?
Yes.
Okay, 5 years. Okay. Fine. Is there any number of students which are to be taken into consideration? Like, let's take it minimum so many students has to be there or something like that, because these are the questions which are coming on my separate WhatsApp. So I just thought that let me be very clear, and audience should also be very clear.
Right. So criteria does not require a minimum number of students. It requires the school should be at least till 10th standard. But indirectly, when there are multiple schools competing, it becomes a way of preference that where there are more students, they get more preference in selection. But the minimum criteria is to be a school till 10th grade with 3 years of history of academic year's results.
Okay. Is there an annual competition being organized by Niti Aayog or by Ministry of Education or anybody so that schools are encouraged further? Is there any competition?
Yes, they organize ATL marathons. It's 2 times or 3 times in a year. And
Okay.
other than that, the school can also participate in various competition like Google Science Fair, International Science Fair, and we also help students in participating these. So some of our students have won these ATL marathons in past. One student visited in Israel also. He created a project and he was selected from Ahmedabad and got a presentation with Prime Minister Modi in Israel. Another one went to Russia. So a lot of things happening. Niti Aayog's organized Atal marathon.
Very good. Saraji, we should take initiative, the entire Northeast together. Let's organize one such event. I would be very keen. Let's have a participation. I would send a request from the chamber to all the secretary education to the all 8 states. Along with that, we should get the director. We should get the director for school education, elementary, as well as the higher education, secondary education, with the secretaries, with directors, with education ministers, and then we should have a state participation. And all the 8 states together, we can organize, like I was telling you yesterday, I got to go through at this age once again my pages, which I was sharing with you. Yesterday, we selected one word, if you remember.
I remember.
Yes, it was tacothon.
Hackathon, yeah.
Like hackathon, like hackathon. Why not? We should talk about Takathon, and that should be a day-long program. We can invite teachers, principals, educators, directors, secretaries, the entire Northeast together, and it can be a virtual program. It can be a virtual program. It's not required you got to physically go at a place. No, no, only virtual, because we got to play with technology. We got to make best use of technology. So I would make a request to you, Sharatji, that Sarat, he should be now morally committed because he's from Northeast, and we should take care of entire Northeast. And our vision would be that Northeast to be taken with Southeast Asia, the ASEAN, and then the entire identity of the Northeast to be taken together as one piece. That means Ashta Lakshmi, all the 8 states together. And that is the way we can work out. We will speak from our chamber. I'm so grateful to you for such a wonderful interaction, presentation, and innovative inputs which you have given. And all my brothers and sisters and my children, those are watching from Northeast, from the different states, and all dignitaries from the government, those are watching this particular program, and respectable principals, teachers, and others, those are watching this particular program. We should not feel shy, because sometimes we feel very shy to put comments into the YouTube. Oh, people will come to know, am I learning from Sharad Bansal? Oh, he's so young. How can I learn from him? Ladies and gentlemen, we should learn till last breath. We should learn. It's a journey on which we all are on. And we learn from each other. I got to learn a lot of things from Sarat. I got to learn a lot of things from Sharad Bansalji. So let's learn from each other. And education now, the pedagogy has changed. It was teaching centric. It became learning centric. It became teacher as a facilitator. And now teachers I'm also a teacher. We are co-learners. We are co-learners because this young generation, they have got so many innovations and creativity. And through Atal Tinkering Lab, each and every school in entire Northeast should have Atal Tinkering Lab, irrespective your government or your private, whatsoever it is. He has given the whole criteria. He has given you the app also. I would also be one of the students, and I assure you, I will also learn. We all should learn from each other the best possible way. So, being a co-learner, I want to learn and I want to convey my deep gratitude and thanks to Sharad Bansalji and Sarat Singh ji. We are morally committed. Let's take Northeast India to the next development level through our these beautiful flowers, our children. And all of us, music got to be the integral part of Atal Tinkering Lab. And secondly, don't forget, when the world is moving from health to wellness, maximum biodiversity, maximum herbal plantation is in northeast part of India. Some of us, we can work on that project also. It's a very innovative project. Let's find out which are the plants, which are the species available over there in northeast, and we should give to these big corporate houses, whether they want to take processed or non-processed or whatsoever they want. So we should work out a strategy on that. And I think some innovation in Atal Tinkering Lab from the Northeast can be done on that also. But Sharad Bansalji wants to say something. Please go ahead.
No. I was just saying thumbs up for this.
Okay. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful Northeast, beautiful Northeast, and Ashtalakshmi Northeast. All of us, let's take Northeast forward. I love Northeast and next birth, मोक्ष तो मिलना नहीं है. इस फौजी को मोक्ष नहीं मिलना है. तो rebirth में next birth, I'll be born in Northeast part of India. That is the way I declare. It's a self-desired proclamation I would like to share with all of you. Thank you very much, Sharaji. Stay blessed. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your efforts.